be videoed. Now is the time to turn off your cameras, please. This will be streamed live to YouTube. So if you would please go ahead. If you don't want your visage on YouTube, now's the time to turn off your camera.
So, Cecilia, the YouTube is live and running. Thank you very much for mentioning that.
I appreciate that.
Hey.
Okay. So, welcome everybody. Y'all, the streets are restless this week. And the air, at least where I am, it feels pretty heavy with warnings and threats and pressure that always seems to come when power starts to fear the people. And now I know that because I saw it when I was a teenager. Now, I saw it from a white girl's privileged perspective, of course, but I saw it nonetheless. On Saturday, we are all going to gather for the No Kings rally. Not out of rage, but out of remembrance. Because democracy, real democracy, that is a covenant that we renew with our bodies, our voices, and our presence. Now, they say that there will be fear in the air. But fear does not end movements. It clarifies them. It reminds us who we are in the moment when the masks drop off and we can see who's behind them. It calls us back to our courage and to each other. We don't need to be fearless to stand up. We just need to remember what we're standing for. That every hand raised in peace is stronger than any show of force. And that love, deliberate, unyielding love, is still the oldest act of resistance that there is. And No Kings is not just a protest, y'all. It's a declaration. We belong to each other, not to rulers, not to dictators, and not to an old man who was not loved enough as a child. We stand on the courthouse steps, in communities, in fields, in parks, holding our hands with each other, waving our flags with our signs up high, with open hearts and steady hands. And this Saturday, we're going to show up to remind them and ourselves that hope is still alive, still stubborn, and still ours. No crowns, no kings, just people standing together. So let's get started. All right. Today, I am Cecilia. Hi. We have, Melissa is not going to be here yet again. Y'all, moving is hard. There's a lot of steps to it. But we do, I believe, have Dr. Chris. Yes, we do. I see her there. And we have Rebecca, our steadfast timekeeper and amazing tech guru as well. We have Beth M. She will be our chat monitor, vibe check, and she also has an important message coming up. And I believe we do have Merle here. Yes, she will be helping out with our metaphysical support. She's always great in the chat, as well as I hope Boot Money's around. He's always good for philosophy and help and a good perspective on things when I misalign myself. So y'all, that's your team. Let's see where we go from there.
All right, so everybody, you've made it to Sorting Soup. I see a lot of familiar faces. I do see a couple of new faces. I will keep it short today because we do have some interesting, new, tantalizing information that I want to save time for. So this is a group space where we split our time between emotionally, analytically processing the current events of the day and everything that goes along with that. And then we also pivot to brainstorming action items. Where can we make a difference? How can we make things better? We meet on Thursdays at 5 o'clock Central, so you all made it here. As far as group norms, when we get to the group discussion part, you're going to raise your digital hand in order to participate. You do that in your Zoom menu. It's in the React part of your menu, which has a heart icon. You're going to click that heart React button and then raise hand. We're going to keep all of our discussion contributions to around 2 minutes, and we want to keep them civil, constructive. And then when we get to the brainstorming, problem solving side, we're going to try and be solution oriented, ideally. And if folks do need to take a break, because sometimes these things do get a little heavy, absolutely feel free to do what you got to do. Do some breathing, step away, and then come back when you're ready to join us. Before we go to the agenda today, I do want to let a couple of folks talk you through some great new ways to participate with this group. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Cecilia and Beth.
All right. So we have decided that we will be starting up a book club, a Sorting Soup book club, and we will be starting it in 2 weeks to give everybody plenty of time to get the book. And to tell you a little bit more about the book that we have decided to read, Beth M.
Oh boy. Hi, everybody. So we are going to be reading Project 2025, The Survival Guide, and it is by Randy Allen Walker. It has a free podcast in the back that you can listen to as well. It's for sale on Amazon, and it's $29.97 or something there. I know there's some independent outlets where we can buy it from as well. I saw it on eBay, but it didn't look like it was super cheap there. So I'm hoping that Adrian will be my referral person as to the bookstores that people can buy it from. It breaks down the whole Project 2025 in sections, the role of the Heritage Foundation, where it started, where it's going, what's already happened, and hopefully this will help us to survive it, like it says.
Okay, great. That is exactly what I needed. If you could just put a, excuse me, a link to that book in the chat, that would be great. Okay, now moving on.
Great. Okay, so the plan for today. Our overall theme is grounding ourselves for action. So hopefully everybody on this call knows that Saturday is a major action day for everyone. And so we want to get everybody in the right mental, emotional, physical place to be able to participate in some way, shape, or form. So as usual, we're going to spend the first half of our time processing the emotional side of things. And then the last half, we're going to go into that brainstorming, problem solving type discussion. So just as a reminder, when we do have that discussion, we're going to have a couple of prompts and choose to respond to those prompts or share your own thoughts without regard for those prompts. Each person will have 2 minutes to share, but if you have more than that, I might have to cut you off depending on how many folks have their hand up. The good news is that you are free to raise your hand again, and you can get back in the line and keep contributing. So before we get to the meat of the conversation, though, I'm going to kick it over to Cecilia so that we can really make sure that we're all here and grounded.
All right, everybody. If you have never been here before and this is your first time, you might not understand what we're about to do. And that's okay. The bardo is the space in between. And it is a place to take a moment. So we're just going to take a moment to arrive. Wherever you are, plant your feet, loosen your shoulders, kind of let your spine rise up. If you are laying down, make sure your bottom is set and you are firmly grounded wherever you are, okay? You don't have to do anything right now. You just need to be. And you can close your eyes if that feels okay, just as long as you can hear my voice. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out slowly through your mouth. All right. Again, we're going to breathe in and out like the tide coming in and going out. Steady, certain, and ancient. The bardo is the space in between what was and what will be. And that's where we are this week, between the noise of the old order and the quiet beginnings of something new. So breathe in whatever you're carrying right now. The tension, the worry, the readiness for 4 counts. Hold it for just a heartbeat. And as you exhale, let it fall down into the ground beneath you. Released, grounded, and transformed. Now breathe in again. This time, draw in connection. Feel the people beside you. Even if they're miles away through this Zoom, you are part of a living web of courage, breathing together right now. Deep breath in. Hold it for a heartbeat. And exhale. And send your calm, your steadiness, and your protection back into that web. We hold each other in this way. With your next breath, picture yourself standing on the threshold, the bardo between fear and freedom, between silence and song. You don't have to know the next step yet. You only have to be there for this one. Let your body remember that you are safe, that you are held, and that you are part of something vast and alive. One last deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes, exhale, and carry that stillness into the work ahead. Let's make some soup.
All right. So I can walk us through the prompts really quick, and
Go for it.
then we can get into the discussion portion. So, oops. Okay. So a lot of what we're going to be talking about is in the context of our big action on Saturday. And so thinking about what feelings come up when we're anticipating that No Kings 2 event on Saturday. What would make Saturday feel like a success? And different people might define success differently. What does it mean for Saturday to be a success for the country, for your location where you go, for you as an individual person? What helps you feel safe enough to act, even if you're nervous about how kind of crazy things are right now? And whose courage are you drawing on this week? So that question may or may not make sense to folks. For me, I know there's this teenage boy in one of my Ice Watch networks, and he's who I want to be when I grow up, even though he's like half my age. So whenever I need to be brave, he's who I think about. So that's an example. So with that, we can get into it.
All right. So, does anyone want? I see a hand. Bruce, as usual. Go ahead, start us off.
As usual.
I don't mind. No, come on.
Yeah, handout. I was waiting for others, but I got started. I'm in Palm Beach County, Florida, and Trump will be in town at some point on No King's Day. He's doing a fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago, and we're going to have a nice motorcade protest the day he's leaving, Sunday. So that should be fun. I say sock it to him. That's how I feel about this. We've got to stand up for our democracy. They're afraid of us. Look at what they're doing with all their calling us that we hate America, that we're terrorists. We've got to show them we're peaceful and we're standing up for our First Amendment rights. That's what we're doing. We've done it before and we're going to do it again. Just so you know, I haven't protested since college, which was in the early 70s, until this year. And it's worth it because it makes me feel that I'm able to get my emotions out. I'm one of those who not only carries a sign, but also carries a honk sign. I want every honk we can get from those cars that pass by. I don't care about the fingers. I want the honks. And do I feel safe? Oh, yeah, there are plenty of us there. And the police at these locations have been helpful. I had an incident where it was too hot and I nearly passed out, and they were terrific. I didn't really need anything but Gatorade, but they insisted on helping even more along with the paramedics. So I have no reason not to go. I feel safe, and we've really got to show them. I hope the 10 million do show up and really send a message to this administration. You're not popular. We don't like what you're doing, and we really got to stop this and end the shutdown, end the authoritarian moves, and stick to our democratic ideals. I'm done.
Thank you, Bruce. Per usual, you are one of our heroes. Thank you so much.
I don't think I'm a hero. I'm just doing what I feel I need to.
And that's okay. Most heroes say that. I don't mind. All right, Constance, you're up next. Oh, I can help.
Thank you. Constance from Arlington Heights. I'm taking courage from the people of Chicago who are not taking this line down. They're protesting in a lot of different ways, and boy, are they getting it back from ICE, and they're still protesting. And I just saw an image of a ICE car deliberately ramming into a protester's car and making it spin around. And there, that kind of policing went away with a long time ago. It's against the law. They're doing it anyway. Um, I just, and it's very, very hard here because you, you can't, you can't be so violent that Trump uses it as an excuse to call out the Insurrection Act. But boy, they're just pushing it to the edge, and I'm proud of my adjacent big city, big brother, big city of big shoulders. I really am, because it's a hard place to be right now. And I did buy a T-shirt today that said Aunt Tifa on it with a little old lady with white hair. I just love it.
Yes, I love those. Love those shirts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Constance. All right, Chuck, you're up next.
Hi, this is Chuck. I just want to ask everybody what they think of this idea because it is packing a punch. What would happen if everybody around the No Kings protest actually bought the books called The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump by Dr. Bandy Lee? That would focus each and every spot to talk about Trump's psychopathy. That would make him explode. There would be nothing more powerful. Now, whether you read it out loud at the protest, media is going to be forced to talk about his psychopathy. Second question is, what's the most vital body part in a sitting president? What's the most vital organ in a sitting president? His brain. So why aren't we screening out for psychopathy by taking an easy MRI before we hand over the new codes?
You can't screen for psychopathy with an MRI.
Yes, you can. It's called the SPECT brain scan, and Daniel Amen clinics do it. They do it with serial killers inside with forensic psychiatrists.
Not with an MRI.
Not
No,
with
it's
an
not an
MRI.
MRI.
Yeah, it's not an MRI. It's a functional MRI. That is very different from an MRI. Okay, I know because I am connected to the Daniel Amen clinic, and that is what they've been doing for years now. It is not the standard, but why not just challenge Trump with that? Because he would turn tail and run. Why doesn't the Democrat do that?
Well, because first of all, he's in power. We have no authority.
No, I know. It's the challenge that matters, because if he turns tail and runs from the challenge, okay, that shows him as weak. He has stuff to hide. The other issue is at the book that's nonviolent at the protest. The book would be shown and media would be forced to talk about his psychiatric illness nonstop, and that would get under his skin.
Well,
and instead of them attacking us, we're going to show the truth about his psychiatric mental illness.
I'm gonna cut you off there so we can move on to the next person.
I will say real quick that the book is excellent, and that if you had brought this up like a week ago, we probably or that might have been able to be accomplished in some way, shape, or form. That is something that you would need to have done to get that message out to everyone like you want. That is something that would have to have been done like a month ago. But
9 years ago. 9 years ago.
That's not what I meant. I meant to get what you want done, to have it read tomorrow or Saturday. It would have had to be like messaged a month ago. So
I don't understand. You're saying if we show flags and all that stuff, that's great. But showing the book cover is all you really need to do. And you can just blow that up with a Xerox.
I'm saying that people, I'm saying that getting people to change their plans and getting the book out to indivisibles all across the nation. I'm sure we can ask them, we can get the idea to them, we can send them an email and a text message, but I'm saying to get people to do your idea, that's not an option right now. We are 2 days out.
But it's a Xerox, it's not a book.
Okay.
You
Also,
could do it off your
also
laptop.
my point is that we have had many psychopaths in the presidency, and it has never been a problem before. The dementia, however, I would say is a problem. That would be far more interesting to point out to people as opposed to the psychopathy. We've had psychopaths in the presidency before. Nobody has ever cared. Now, Rebecca was correct. Chuck, I look forward to you talking again. Bring this back up. The timing of it, you should have, like, this would have taken more talking with people. But
that's what I did to Invincible, but they didn't want to hear it. So, but thank you for letting me throw that at you guys.
But the reason I believe they didn't want to is because we've had psychopaths in the past, and most people don't give a crap. Excuse me.
Right, but the psychopaths did not destroy the nation.
I don't believe that it's his psychopathy that's destroying the nation right now, ma'am. I believe that it is his dementia and everybody around him that is allowing his dementia to just flower and decide to take on whatever. But that's my own opinion. I'm sorry. I did not mean to say that. Chuck, Judy needs to talk. We went beyond our 2 minutes. I apologize. Judy, you're up next. Oh,
hi.
There
Couple of things. I think that one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind is that as we're all focused on Saturday, we need to actually make sure that you plan something for beyond Saturday. Because if we don't, there's going to be major letdown. And so in keeping with that, my group, for example, has another protest planned for the following Saturday. It's going to be the first protest ever to be in Morton Grove.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And so I've been putting it out there, and I'll be putting it out there some more over the next week. But it doesn't have to be anything that big. Just anytime you're planning something really huge in your life, plan something to go after that. Because it doesn't matter, even if you're planning something like a wedding or anything. It's something that I learned in helping families get ready for bar and bat mitzvahs. You always plan something for after it. And then the other thing I had was a question, and I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to go back to working because, yes, I'm still at work. Is I heard something about, besides wearing yellow, that we should be wearing a paperclip.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of looked it up, but I didn't really quite understand why. So if anybody understood why, if you could let me know, and then I'll be glad to help do that. And for those of you who are wondering about being safe, just know that the marshals are all being incredibly safety trained. I took marshal training again for this. I'm going to be marshaling at Evanston for this one, and the safety training was incredible for what we've got. Oh, hi, Rebecca. I see that you just sent me a link. Thank you. And I'm going to hang up. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Judy. You didn't have to hang up, but
no, not hang up. I mean, just go on mute.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I wanted to tell you that the paperclip has become a powerful and enduring symbol of resistance, solidarity, and unity, originating during World War II and recently revived in modern democratic movements.
Very quickly, it started in World War II Norway. During the Nazi occupation of Norway, civilians began wearing paper clips on their lapels as a quiet act of defiance against the occupiers. The symbol emerged among teachers and students and quickly spread across the nation as a sign that Norwegians were bound together, kind of like we are, y'all. A metaphor drawn from the function of the clip itself to oppose a fascist control and affirm national unity. The act was subversive enough that the Germans eventually banned it. I can't wait until they ban our paper clips. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. And some who wore one were arrested. The gesture honored both Norway's ingenuity and its determination to resist domination peacefully. So that was where it started, and it was brought back up in 2025 during the paperclip protest initiated by writer E. Jean Carroll and amplified by legal analyst Joyce Vance. Judith, you're up next. Oh, I can help. Hold on.
Hi, yes. Thank you to everybody who's spoken so far, especially those who are wishing luck to the people in Chicago, because I'll be among those at the downtown protest. So I do hope it goes well. What I'm hoping for in this protest is immense numbers of people, despite the predicted rain, so that ICE won't even think about causing any problems. I do worry about instigators, and if anybody in this group has any information about where the Chicago police stand on this, I'd like to know. I mean, they've always been fine at the past protests in Chicago, and I'm glad they're there. But it seems they're still a little bit ambivalent in their position. They try to de-escalate, but I'm not sure where they stand. Whereas the police in Portland, I hear from Professor Blazak the other night, the police in Portland are more firmly on the side of the protesters being able to exercise their First Amendment rights. So I would really feel better about everything if I knew that, but I don't. Anyway, thank you very much, and I got a lot of luck to you and your friends at Broadview tomorrow, because I really admire you. I'm kind of in driving distance of Broadview. It's a little farther than I typically drive these days, but I hope everything goes really well for you. And I draw my courage from all of you and all of these groups associated with NWSOFA. I think you're all terrific, and you really inspire me and lots of other people with the courage to do all this. And I hope Saturday is a great success. It would be a success for me if these immense numbers came out, and also if some people on the fence about things saw the immense numbers and were convinced to join us, because that would make an even bigger difference. Thank you all. That's all I had to say.
That's wonderful, Judith. Thank you so much. All right, Hank, you're up next.
Okay. Very quickly, it happens I'm a clinical psychologist, which means nothing in general politically. But I will say, just from my perspective, I think Trump's brain is probably the least of our worries. And in some ways, and even the dementia, I will suggest, some of the taco stuff and some of the instability, crazy as it is and dangerous as it is, no question, also may provide, what do I want to say, loops in which to work. It's not all bad. The people who scare me are the 2025ers. Vance, frankly, for me, would be a scarier person in office than Trump. Trump is a clown, but we know, right, that what's happening now has been planned for 20, 30 years, and they have the power to do it, unfortunately, what they're doing. But what I was going to actually say was, where I am, which is Ann Arbor, big blue bubble in the middle of wherever, Michigan, and making a decision not to be there on King's Day, but no Kings, but to be in a neighboring town, in two neighboring towns, which are more purple red than Ann Arbor, because I just think being there, while it is a little riskier, no question, there's going to be more blowback, but I think it will mean more. To be there than to be another person in Ann Arbor. The big numbers are going to be the same, whether I'm here or there. Right. So when one has that kind of choice, maybe it's something others would consider.
That's so awesome. Hank, You just got me in the heart because I don't know, many of you probably don't know this, but I am about 3.5 hours south of Chicago. Okay.
Hmm.
I still work obviously with NWSOFA quite often, but I live in the reddest part of our state in Illinois. I live in MAGA country, as in District 12, Mike Boss district. And so I am holding an after hours 5 to 7 p.m. No Kings in Marshall, Illinois, which is a very red area. And so hearing you say that it would be great for that you have decided to go to a more reddish purple town as opposed to sticking in your own big blue. That's you just gave me, thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Julie, you're up next. Do I need to? There you go.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if I had to unmute myself or whatever, but hello everyone from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm good for Saturday. Possibly 3 parts. Part 1, easy, Bridge Brigade, going by myself. Part 2, I'm going to a Four Corners, which is actually, I was just reading closer, and it's sponsored by the Women with Walkers, and I have a good friend that lives in a senior facility, and so they're all coming out. So I'll have
awesome.
A friend there. So that's great. But I'm just feeling a little lonely. I need St. Paul protest buddies. So if there's anybody out there, and just from what you're just talking about, I was just up north, which is red, but and I needed to come back down for I just needed to come home. So otherwise I would have stayed up there and helped with that one. But yeah, I agree. I think that's good to get in to kind of infiltrate as many red areas as possible. I want to go to the Minneapolis in the afternoon, but again, I would prefer to have a buddy. I get kind of lost. I know it's just across the river. But anyway, yeah, and then just one thought, no changes now. My sister brought this up. It's like, well, why are we saying no kings? I know why, because it stems back from how we became a country and all of that. But if you look at the law of attraction and how many times we mention his name constantly, and we're mentioning the word king, in my, I guess, esoteric world, sometimes I'm kind of thinking we are invoking him to be a king. That we're invoking the opposite of what we want in a way. And again, no going back, just throwing it out there. She said he's more of a mob boss than a would be king. So I think I'm gonna put something about mob boss on my signs. Anybody has any ideas? Just one last thing. Listening to the speaker, Mike Johnson, and some of the others talk about all the groups, and they can't do anything with the government shutdown until all of this big protest is over with all of these leftists, and the name calling is kind of getting to me. I want to combat that on my sign. I mean, they're calling us haters, they're calling us all leftists, and they're calling, what they're calling us, and it's really irritating to me, though. So if anybody has any ideas how to bring me down from that, I would appreciate it. So,
okay. Julie, first of all, if we were manifesting his kingdom by the no kings, they would be able to say no kings, but they have not been able to say those words because there's nothing anti-democratic about the words no kings, right? Those two words themselves put together are what we stand for in this country. So by us putting that out into the world, we are manifesting what we want in our country. We want a country with no kings because we don't have kings here. We don't have dictators. We don't have people like that. We don't have mob bosses. We have decided that we will live in a democratically run country. And we have to elect people who believe that. That is
Yeah, I
that
totally,
is where we went wrong. We
totally get that.
and so
Yeah, I'm
now
just saying, even just putting the word
I
king
get
out
it.
in the universe is,
I hear you.
yeah,
I hear
okay.
you.
And we
But
don't have to, we don't have to beleaguer the point, but it's
but
just one of those things. It's like, yeah,
and as for you, message me your information, okay? And I will try to find people in your area. All right.
cool. Thanks.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Cecilia.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
All right. Andrada, what a beautiful name. How are
Thank you so much. She
You're
was Dacian queen. The Dacians won the war against the Roman Empire 102, 101, 102, 105, 106. They lost the war. Um, the Dacian governor who was assigned to the area, the Roman governor, was going to lead the newly captured Dacians. And she said, "You killed my husband and you killed my father-in-law, and I have a son, Tiberius. If there are any Star Trek fans out there, Tiberius was the son." And she said, "If you want to lead this area, you will marry me and you will raise the boy whose father you killed." And he agreed. He agreed. She's the only woman whose name was inscripted in the fortress in Deva in Romania. I have a lot to live up to. But Andrada, that was her.
Well, that was your courage in your name.
So I know, I know, I know. I can also trace my lineage back to her. Anyway, I gosh, thank you so much. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible. I've called US my home for most of my life, although I did grow up in Romania. US, I've always wanted to come here, and it's been my home for well over 2 decades. And I know it's not a competition, and you guys talked about, purple areas and being in Michigan or Illinois. Guys, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
I used to live there. Sorry.
No, that's awesome. Funky town. Did you do any cow tipping?
I was a kid. Keep going. I don't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
No, this is a fluid. I love this fluid type of conversation, and I love the breathing exercises we did in the beginning. And this is wonderful. Cecilia, you are amazing. I love your input. Dr. Greenspan, whether you have a PhD or you are a doctor, I assume being a clinician, being a clinical psychologist, and all the other ones who have had input, please forgive me for not mentioning your name because I do truly appreciate you. I just wanted you guys to know that even in this red state that we have been fighting so hard, us intellectuals, but everybody else as well, all the reasonable, not greedy, not psychopaths, have been doing that as well as much as they can. And I agree with you, Cecilia, in the sense that I think we welcome input and we welcome ideas and we welcome the ethos and the passion. But when that test of, that cognitive test or test of capacity was established for presidents, that's quite archaic. It's very, very basic. It's very, very simple. Of course, we can attack that, and of course, we can modernize it. But just so many things are at stake, and this is a large machine that it's difficult to move and to make those changes. Definitely good input. And even if it's, a couple of days before a rally, a protest, a march, great input, but something to be reasonable about and think, hey, that's something we can do for No Kings 3.0. Perfect. Let's write that down. Let's make a note of that. That's awesome. So I just wanted to give you guys all my love to tell you that I grew up with a dictator, and I know it's no kings, and I'm not trying to diminish the maliciousness that a kingdom and a king would bring, but I could go into so many details about what a dictator could do. So Trump, someone brought this up and finally defined what, my thoughts and summarized it. He is the useful idiot. He is clearly uneducated. I mean, you can simply tell by how he fails to just coherently express himself, to even read words off a prompter like acetaminophen. I'm sorry, English is my third language, but I'm not trying to be cocky, but I can pronounce it. So we can simply infer the lower, quotient, intellectual quotient, or lack of education, or, both of them. So he is the useful idiot. It is Project 2025. It is terrifying me. I've been keeping up with it. And there's a book I highly, highly recommend. It's called Stolen Justice. And it covers courtroom cases dating back to even pre-abolitionist area, and it shows how a series of courtroom decisions were skewed against minorities, primarily blacks, at the time. And someone said, there was another thing that I've heard once, saying, hey, these definitive or these life-changing decisions are made in the boardroom. They're made, so they have a bunch of attorneys, obviously, judges and justices. It's a strategy, and they are organized, and that's something I want to emphasize. That one thing that, being, I'm not a project manager, but I do have a PMP. I'm an accountant. I know, boring, but I'm good with numbers. And the idea is we do need to be more organized. They are very well organized. I mean, there's a manuscript, right? That's like Mein Kampf on steroids, basically, right? And I use a jargon to say Mein Kampf is like my gripe. I know it's not as, but I call it my gripe, right? His gripe. And incidentally, what does he have in common? He convicted criminal. I mean, Mussolini was
Any more than that. Yes, lots in common with all of them.
Correct. Stalin was, Hitler, they're all convicted criminals. But anyway, useful idiot. Useful idiot is something to focus on. Let's be organized. I am here. I will try my absolute best on my free time to offer my professional services and support. I'm super excited about Saturday. I'm finally taking my daughter. She's 14, going on 40.
That's
We're
great.
gonna be we're going to be handmaids. I'm a handmaid. So we're going to be handmaids. We have confirmed that we do have at least 2 clergy organization. So that's going to be peaceful. That's going to be sweet. It brings me to tears, and I'm not a weeper because I grew up in communism and my whole family fought. My grandfather was taken and tortured by the communists for 2 weeks because he was listening to Free Europe. And it's a program that was canceled by the Trump administration out of Portland. I'm hoping for a Portland frog. I know I've taken up a lot of time. I truly appreciate everybody. I love the calm. I love the peace. I want you to know that, hey, we're in Texas. They're strong people. We're supporting this. We're not all red, and we're going to make a difference. Love you guys.
Love you too, babe. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right, Dr. Chris, you are up next.
Yeah, hey, so I'm in my car. I have to attend a safety training, as a matter of fact, for our safety volunteers for No King's Day, because that's what I'll be working. In fact, I'll be wearing bright yellow because our vests are bright yellow, so I'll probably blend in with a lot of people. But I was making note of some of the comments about, the symbolism, about why, somebody mentioned the paperclip, and I did put something in the chat on the symbolism behind that, and Cecilia mentioned it as well. And then the yellow, also drop that in the chat as to why, but bright color, recognizable. But one of the things that Ezra and Leah said on the call today is that they're seeing where this could then eventually morph into just a way of identifying people who are part of the resistance. So you go into a coffee shop and you see somebody with a little yellow pin on. And then I think someone on this call actually said, which I thought this was a great idea, and I'm going to do it the same thing, is I'm going to get the yellow paperclip. So if people didn't get the word about the yellow, and some people may not, then it's a way that we can just kind of move through the crowd and make sure, kind of like the secret handshake, if you will. But a lot of this is about just the symbolism of growing, of recognizing that we are among like-minded people who are resisting, who are being brave, and pushing back. And then you've also heard Ezra and Leah talk, because this is bigger than Trump. That's why the focus isn't just on Trump, because Trump is just part of a regime. And so behind Trump are all the people, all of his handlers, the Stephen Millers, the Russell Votes, and even the JD Vances that are waiting, nipping in the, just waiting until they'd be happy for Trump to be gone. So this is bigger than Trump. So I just wanted you guys to say this. And then the last thing is just the purpose of the flags and the symbolism is, right now the counter messaging is that we hate America and that we're Antifa. And we need to show that we're joyful and we love America. And there's lots of a sea of red, white, and blue and flags flying. In fact, one of the organizations I'm working with, they're selling flags so people have flags that they can be flying all around. So anyway, just think about that and just being joyful and in the moment. And I saw a comment about the animals and the inflatables. Part of that is to counter the messaging, right? So when you say that the city of Portland is a war zone, and then you start seeing frogs and inflatable unicorns, it's really hard to be credible, right? If you're saying it's a war zone.
Dr.
And
Chris,
then
I had no idea that unicorns were in that hellscape. No idea.
yeah, I know. So anyway, I'm excited just by seeing all the comments and about the passion of the people that are on the call. I think this is one of our largest sorting soups that I've been to, actually. So it just tells me that you guys are ready to go. Okay. And I'm excited for that.
Yes. Thank you so much. And y'all, she's exactly right. Portland, it responded in such a Portland way, right? They came with frogs, they came with unicorns, they came with Winnie the Pooh, they came out strong. And the reason was because it's the absurdity of it all. They said Portland was a hellscape. Y'all, Portland is an outdoor farmers market that smoked way too much weed. Like, that is Portland. And they are all very peaceful, very happy, very loving people for the most part. Yes, they have issues just like every big city, but they are not a hellscape. And the point and purpose of wearing those costumes is to show that you can try to say what we are. You can try to redirect the messaging, but we are going to tell you who we are. We are going to write our own stories. All right, Sharon, Miss Sharon.
Hi, everyone. Sharon from California. I put in the chat information concerning a blackout. And the last time I think I was on the Zoom, someone mentioned how they selecting these companies to boycott or blackout. And I reached out to the People's Union USA, and we've been communicating because that's one of the questions that I did ask, because we don't want to pick a company that is supporting us, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted verification. And he wrote me back. I got it today. Well, he wrote me before. And as for how the companies are selected, each one is chosen based on verified public information, financial reports, political donation records, and patterns of corporate misconduct or exploitation. We look at who's funding corrupt politicians, who's driving price gorging, and who's benefiting most from the suffering of working people. So it seems like they are doing a thorough job when they select a company to boycott, which I feel happy about, because again, I don't want to be saying boycott somebody and, they haven't done anything wrong. So someone mentioned boycotts and blackouts, and I put the information, the flyer and some information in the chat. And it's also a summary of the Constitution in my report. And so if you're interested in, because I need more ideas and whatever, I put my email address. So please feel free to reach out to me and give me your suggestions. Okay. Thank you. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm not in the position to be protesting as far as walking and being out in the elements, but this is what I can do to help the cause.
Thank you, Miss Sharon. And
Okay.
that is one of the best things that we can all do is how we spend our money. Where do our pennies go? But definitely over the next 3 days, we don't want to spend money at any big name brand stores. If you have to spend money, go to local stores or immigrant owned stores. That's for the next 3 days. And that's my big cautionary tale. Now, she breaks it down in the chat. She has a wonderful breakdown of who is being boycotted and why. So I highly recommend it. Thank you so much, Ms. Sharon. All right, Diane, you're up next. Oh, let me get you there.
Thank you. I didn't have my sound on. I do now. I'm very happy to be here. It's the first time I've attended.
Hi.
Judy Aronson told me about it quite some time ago. I want to tell you about something we're organizing out of the west suburban Chicago area with Indivisible. But first, let me just say, to answer the question that was at hand, that I'm going to attend the LaGrange No Kings on Saturday. I'll probably be one of the marshals. I've marshaled before for some other things. And I think I may be misleading myself, but I feel because I'm disabled and my husband's disabled, and we use rollators when we walk a long distance. I feel a little bit safer in LaGrange, although the last time they did it in LaGrange, there were 5,000 people. It was wonderful, very successful, and it was led by young people, which is unusual. And this one is being sponsored by the Indivisible West Suburban Chicago, and along with, even though I don't like affiliating with Democrats, but there is a Young Democrats of Lyons Township organization that they are doing this with. And these are under 35-year-old people from high school to that. And I'm going to talk as quickly as I can. And I'm not a fast talker, but I'm going to do my best.
Take your time.
I'm originally, I'm not going to tell all my background, but my husband and I only moved here 3 years ago from the Puget Sound area. And we were extremely active from 2017 and Indivisible there. And we, did things. We didn't just go to,
right,
in events. So we're doing things now. One of the things that, and I have to find something yellow because I have nothing yellow. But we will wear paper clips. I can guarantee that. But I want to mention something I've already talked to Bill Davis about. We're organizing along with 6 different Indivisible chapters, all the way from Arlington Heights to Northwest Chicago, West Chicago, Evanston, Maine, Niles and Maine Township, and the West Suburban, which is many Middle West suburban suburbs.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we're organizing something that is called Music for Democracy. So it is bringing joy to this movement, but also linking with all of those chapters and every chapter that wants to join us at the concert. We have a venue. And I wanted to put up a sign. I couldn't do it today, but I could do it at the next Thursday meeting. I didn't have the flyer at hand. I tried to find it before we were finished. But it is on Wednesday, November 19th, and it's at a venue called Roberts West Side. and we will bring music and joy and activism, and
I
we
might
will
be able to
encourage action.
Diane, I need you to send me your information. I might be able to be there. I'm going to a concert in Chicago on the 19th.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And
Okay, so I'll have to get your information.
I'll send it to you.
And I don't know how you do that, but
I'll private message you.
okay,
And
great.
it'll be great. Oh,
Anyone else who wants to know, I know a lot of people from all over come to this, and I think that's so fantastic.
yeah.
But anyone in the general Chicagoland area can let me know. I mean, I can put on the chat, I can put my email on the chat.
Yeah, put that
How
in the
about that? Is
That'd
that
be great.
good?
That'd be
All right,
perfect.
I will.
So I want to let you know, I am starting something called Music of the Movement, a podcast about it, and you just hit the nail right on the head.
And Ezra and Leah today had something on. It was a clip of some music that was produced to be in our
Yes.
movement. And they said that I haven't figured it out yet. There's some kind of, they said they're establishing a creativity.
Yes, for content creators.
What is it called? Content creators?
Yes, for people who
Okay.
do content like on YouTube or Instagram or stuff like that.
I
Like,
see.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is content live, and maybe it'll lead to another one in the spring. So we hope this will be a success, and it's a benefit. It's a benefit for one of the prominent, PASO is what is called, PASO, which is a Spanish name of some sort, in Melrose Park. But it's all over Chicago. It's inside Chicago, outside Chicago, goes all the way to Arlington Heights. It is a group like ICER that assist immigrants on the ground, in danger, out of danger, advice, information, legal action. So it is a benefit. So there are tickets for $20 and $15, but every cent of those ticket sales go to the beneficiary to help with this fight right now that's threatening our area.
Okay, that just makes it even better. The fact that
Yes.
but that's awesome, Diane. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening, and thank you, everybody.
All right, so now
Paso in Spanish means step, just jumping in, step, one step at a time, paso a paso.
Paso, yes. Okay, so we're going to pivot to the brainstorming. We're still going to
Thank
hear from Deanna and Jennifer, but we are going to real quickly look at the brainstorming slide. Sorry, my brain just went boop. Okay, so our lives shrink or expand based on our courage. Anais Nin. Oh, hello, I love you. And you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. Guys, fear is just that nasty little guy in the corner. He's more scared of you than you are of him. I'll tell you. I promise. So, are there barriers making it hard for you to participate? Time, transportation, safety, family, emotions. If there are, I'd love to help you figure that out. If being on the street doesn't feel right, are there small roles or forms of support you could take instead? And how can we support each other in the moment, especially if tension, police presence, or hecklers arise? This is something that somebody asked earlier. This is where we talk about it. Okay, Jennifer, you are up next.
Hi. Yeah, I was at the Ezra and
Leah.
Yep, I went to their meeting today, and I saw in one of the comments, someone said that they're living in an elderly housing apartment, and they had like 8 people that couldn't make it to the protest, but what they were going to do is they're going to do their own little protest in front of the apartment building, and the youngest one was 78 years old.
Oh, okay, that's adorable. I'm sorry, that's adorable.
It is. So if they can do that, I mean,
Yes.
there's other options if you can't make it.
Yes, and there are digital protests available. If you look on mobilize.us, and I had the link, and then of course I don't have it right now. But there are digital protests available. You just have to search for a digital only protest. Okay, Jennifer, is that all?
That's all.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Deanna, you are up next.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just greetings from Portland.
Great.
I'm not down, I'm in a walker and I'm not down at the ICE facility, but I'm watching it very closely, like what's happening in Chicago. We're making it joyful. I'm participating in a little one here in Gresham instead of going down with 40,000 or however many people are going to be downtown Portland.
Yeah.
And putting on a local one and from my walker, and just it's going to be very joyful here. We're encouraging families and people to wear costumes. I've got my frog shirts now, my peace frog. We're definitely we just feel really bad. A girl was playing in a band with their like cello or something, and like a group of 20, and then she was arrested by ICE, and she's a mother and taken to Vancouver, Washington on the other side of the bridge. And we're still trying to understand why ICE jumped her. I mean, it's on the news, them throwing her down, and she was just playing music. And so we're trying to, they're accusing her of like supposedly interrupting somebody else getting arrested. Anyway, it's just got us all really upset here. So it's definitely tough, you know, with all that's happening here at ICE, because I even went to this it's called Resistance Boot Camp we put on here in Oregon,
I
and we
heard
had
about
about
that.
200 people, and got to meet the guy that's several of the people that have been going down to ICE were there, like including the chicken guy that's been there all the time, and he was in the Wall Street Journal and stuff. And we definitely are just trying to highlight the problem and be peaceful about it. I mean, that's why we had our marathon go by there. We had a naked bike ride go by there. It's not a war zone at all, and people are so afraid of it, and it's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, it's not even, it's one building, not even a whole block long, and it's not like our whole city's on war. So on Saturday, we're trying to be, like I said, instead of what the news is showing, like how we're un-American, we're going to have flags. We're meeting in the parking lot of the police station. We work with our local people, and our government's working with us. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. But I feel very hopeful, and after I go to these, this will be like my fourth one. I just feel it's inspiring when you see, you know, maybe 3 or 5,000 people will be at our little local event. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate you so much. And it's good. I mean, y'all, you don't realize how good it is for us to have our friends come in from Portland and California, and for us to know and get firsthand reports. I have friends in Portland and California that I can call and ask and whatever, but most of the time they don't want to come on my Zooms because they have lives or whatever. So, you know, whatever. But thank you. I appreciate it. You know, they always say, I'm at work. Oh, right. Okay, fine. So you have to work. Just kidding.
Thank you for just, you know, opening up to so many people. It uplifts me, because I'm just on disability and not able to work now. And it's been I feel like I'm not alone in all this. So thanks to everybody. Thanks.
You're welcome. I too am on disability, so I often feel like I am alone in all of this. That's how I got started in organizing, because I was at home alone and there were no progressive institutions available in my little red area down here in Illinois. And after the election, I was like, what do I do? I can't volunteer for anything because there's nothing to volunteer for. So I just, you know, made an Indivisible. But right now we got 15 minutes left, y'all, and I don't see any hands. That's interesting.
Everybody's just pumped and ready to go.
Are we pumped and ready to go?
We have solved everyone's hesitancy, and they are just like, let me at them.
Let me go. I'm ready.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
at 'em. Let me at 'em.
Maybe I spoke too soon. There's a couple of hands up.
Okay, Lynn, you're up next.
Hi, I was trying to undo my video. Let's see, there it goes. Yeah, I heard that there's going to be maybe 10 million people. There's way more cities and places now protesting, which I think is phenomenal. Um, and I'm encouraging more and more people to go. I know that last Friday, there were some people that I gave my email address to and my phone number so we can meet up here in Gurney, but I have not received any messages from anybody. So I was hoping that they would be here today, but I don't think they are. So maybe tomorrow, because it would be great to be there in numbers and some other people. And I know some people are might be concerned about going because they seem to be the targeted community. But I think, we can be together and protect them. And then I said, hey, why don't you get one of those inflatables? I'd be more than happy to get somebody one if they want. If they want to come, and I'm amazed with Portland. So hooray for what they've been doing in the Frog Brigade. And I was trying to get something, but I don't think it's going to come in time. I saw a car wash costume and I figure we need to clean out DC, but I don't think it's going to be here.
That's cool. Awesome. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I was going to bring my dog, but because last time I brought her to No Kings and dressed her up as a Joker clown, and I don't think maybe I want to bring her this time in case there's like a situation. I don't want to have to worry about her too or something in case I need to help somebody up or something. I don't need to worry about having my dog there too and stuff. So I can get people to safety or in myself to safety too. And I also don't want to be targeted. So having a dog too, they might think of that as something to get the dog to bite them, although she wouldn't. But anyway, I'm trying to make more signs and trying to figure out what to say. And speaking of the dog, here she is. Hello. I don't know if you can see her or not. Can you see her? You can't see her.
Hello.
I think the background doesn't always.
The background kind of gets in the way sometimes. But
I know, there she is. I don't know if you can see her. She's a good girl. She was quite popular at the first 0.1 or 1.0. A lot of people took her photos and stuff, and I think I posted in one of these things. But anyway, I think my 2 minutes is up, and hopefully see you there, see you everywhere on Saturday, and kind of really worried about our country right now, but hopefully this will let him know that we're not putting up with his shit.
That's right. We are not. We are not.
Nope.
That's just all right. Thank you very much, Lynn. I appreciate you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. Andrada.
Andrada, that's fine. Just one last thought for everybody since we have a little bit of time left. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be part of this. Y'all, we can do this. We got this.
Yes, ma'am.
We really, really can. I went through a revolution. We took down the dictator after 45 years of endurance. I know, but we also need to see the signs. And I do see the signs, and I'm not an alarmist. I believe in being gentle and supportive, but we have to do it. It is that absolute that time, and it's okay. Those peaceful demonstrations this Saturday is going to be amazing. I'm hoping for double. Somebody said 10 million because we're estimating 4 to 6 million last time in June. So we are definitely hoping for 10 million. But even if it's not the case, it's okay. We are building. We're going to become more organized. I put my email in the comments. I don't know if I can do much, but whatever I can do from my professional knowledge, expertise, I can help. I can do some project management. I can crunch numbers. and just present it, put it into everyday words, just like attorneys put it, interpret a law. I can interpret a tax law, or just and just even teach financial literacy. And you're buying a house, guys, somebody, I'm going to start a nonprofit. It's not about marketing my nonprofit because there's nothing about profit, but please look in the comments for my email. If I can help, I will absolutely do it. We've got this, guys. I grew up with this. I don't want to go through it again, yo. Don't let me go through it again. No dictatorship, no kings. It's going to be beautiful on Saturday. I am pumped up. I know everybody's pumped up. Reach out to your friends. Much love from Fort Worth, Texas. Love, love, love everybody. You got this.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Chris, you have to follow that.
I know. Hey, so I'm loving all the energy in the space today. So I have a homework assignment for you guys though. So make sure that you give some careful thought to this question: what is your why? And why you're there, because you will find that there are going to be some first timers that came that weren't sure about it. And in some cases, it's just, I think Ezra and Leah talked about that whole fear of missing out. People sense that something really big is going to be happening, and you want to, it's a watershed moment. You want to be part of the moment. But just the second reminder is that we're about getting people, building capacity, right? And trying to make sure we have people involved in the movement. So when somebody comes up to you and says, well, why are you here? What's this all about? It's hard to do that off the cuff. So now you have 48 hours to think about that. And then for those who are not able to go to the protest, I did put something in the chat that you can even share on social media, but it's a laundry list of things, from putting a sign up in your window, or putting a sign up in your yard, or making a poster. I mean, there are just so many ways that you can show that you're part of the resistance. And on that note, I'm pumped. I've got to get to my safety meeting though, so I've got to go. Bye.
All right. Thank you. And good luck at the meeting. Everything's going to go great. I have good vibes. Okay, Marta. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you so much. I was traveling and I'm very glad to be back. And I'm just so jazzed after Bruce saying, "Sock it to him."
Right?
It really got me revved up. But my group of inspiration, or why, are all the immigrants now and in the past who've come here with a belief in something better. And they deserve it. We need to be worthy of that belief. And I want this country to be always the one that people feel is the place they can come to get a chance and have a better life and have that system. It's just love for what we've stood for and what we've tried to be over the years, and just wanting people who change their whole lives to get here, staking it on that hope. I don't want that to go away from them. So that's my why. Too long, I'll have to shorten it, like Dr. Chris said, but that is what's giving me courage right now.
I'm not sure that was too long, Martha. That was beautiful. So, okay. And Lynn, you're back up. Did you forget something? Oh, I can ask. There you go. Oh, I muted you. I'm sorry, hon.
I did. I forgot to say something. I was talking about Portland, and I saw the video of that woman with clarinet and the yellow being like basically detained, and it was vicious. She was basically pushed into the mud. There's no way she could have fought back, and what they're saying is ridiculous. But I've noticed a trend with ICE that they go after women, and they especially go after shorter, smaller framed women, and it's obviously the misogyny, and they can't, they can easily hold them down and whatever. And I even noticed that they go after like, smaller frame people. They don't go after big people because they know that I think ICE people are literally, they're going after the easy targets.
They're
and
afraid.
because they're afraid. They don't want somebody to push back because they're afraid themselves. Because as soon as people start pushing back, like they do here in Chicago and other places, they get in their car when things get scary and then they run away with their tails between their legs. But I think the misogyny surely runs deep in their organization. And obviously within the Trump administration and the whole Heritage Foundation. But I find that I think if you're, they go after the easy targets, and it just makes me feel just really disgusted by them, even more. So I just wanted to say that because that's one thing I've noticed a trend, and makes me sick.
Well, thank you for that, but that actually makes me feel a lot better about Rebecca. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not a small little person. I'm most of 6 feet tall, so
Yeah.
I'm actually going with three of my gal friends tomorrow morning. So
Yeah.
we'll show them who's boss.
Yeah, because I have my Gen Z friend coming with me. We do volunteer for Spay and Stay, and so she's coming too. I brought her the last time, and she's quite small frame, so I know I'm gonna have to protect her.
Yeah.
And I'm only 5'4", but it's like I'm a Gen X. It's like you're not gonna mess with my friends.
Yeah, I'm 5'4" too. So I can imagine somebody trying to come at me and be like, yeah, come on.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Gen X, and
Me
I'm
too,
like,
honey. Me too. That's what I'm
I
saying.
would
Look,
crap for me.
I would just appreciate somebody coming at me.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Like on that wonderful note, I apologize for letting it go down that road, y'all. But we have come to the end of our time here today. There was a lot of wonderful energy today, y'all. Like it was just beautiful. When the chance, after all of this, okay, after everything is done, when the chants fade, after we have sung our lungs out or yelled our lungs out, and the crowds all thin, and the point is, as Judy mentioned, the work does not end. It moves on very quietly through conversations, through kindness, through the very simple act of not giving up. Okay, I catch myself. Simple. It's not simple. It is something that we do every day, not giving up. And it is a choice. It's a choice that you make every day to do this in your retirement when you were supposed to be chilling, maxing and relaxing, doing things that with your grandkids, not paying attention to government. Y'all, what we build in moments of courage must be tended in the calm that follows. Because change doesn't only come from the noise, it comes from steady hearts refusing to turn away. So take a breath and look around, because this is what democracy feels like. Uncertain, imperfect, very alive. We don't stand in the street because we have all the answers. We stand there because we still believe in the question. How can we love this country enough to make it true? That's a deep question. That's something I've been thinking about for a while now. So let's keep asking. Let's keep standing. And let's keep that promise, no matter where we are. And let's keep finding groups like this so we can build bigger and bigger. because we have a long 3 years ahead of us. And I thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So right. Yes, ma'am. We love you. You're amazing.
I thank you so much for today. Thank you, y'all. Have a lovely day. This was a tasty soup. I hope you come back next week at 5. What else do we have going on? Do we have anything tonight? I'm not sure.
Not tonight.
Not tonight? Okay. Well, then I hope to see you tomorrow morning. If you can, we have coffee and conversation at 9 a.m. Central Time and on this very same link. And again, next Thursday at 5, we will hope to see you back here for another tasty soup. Thank y'all so very much. Have a lovely day.
Have a great night. You're amazing, amazing individual and woman. Thank you. Thank you. Love you so very much.
Thank you too.
Keep this